And hello, everybody. Are you troubled with fingerprints on your screens? Want to save money on AI tools? Stay tuned for today's Tech for Seniors. And this is Tech for Senior, October 6th, 2025. Ron, it's episode 287. 287. I'm Hewie Poplock, and I'll be your host today. Ron is here, but he's my co-host today. We do this the first show of every month to give Ron a little time for himself and to make sure that if for one reason or another he can't be here, I've got it down pat so I can run the show in his absence. It's a 1 hour show about technology with a Q&A at the end. Today, we're going to talk about the new Google photo editor. Chris will be here via recording. She may be here as well. She said it's around bedtime wherever she is, and she would try to be here. And then cleaning your cell phone like a pro. Murray Strome has put together a nice video for us, and we'll play that. And then I'm going to talk about Galaxy AI. Then Ron is going to follow with RCS chat. And then, of course, our music person, Mike Leaman, is going to be talking about some music people and playing some great music for us. So let's kind of introduce everybody quickly. We've got a big show today, so I want to get through this introduction quickly. Ron, how are you doing today?
Absolutely great.
Okay, boy, that was quick and short. All right. Mike Leaman.
Great day here in the Maritimes. Summer's back, plus 28 today.
Which is what in our
mid 80s.
Okay. Bill James, how are things in Oklahoma City?
It's a wonderful, beautiful day. I'm hanging out on my patio.
Yep,
using
I saw that.
Using my iPad.
Yep. And Chris, are you here? I don't think she signed in. So our wishes are to be with Chris in their tour of the world in their new home, which is a touring home. So let's see. We're in our 6th year now of Tech for Senior. Don't forget, we have a great website put together by Ron. Don't forget TFS or Tech for Senior Live on Thursdays, where we don't use Zoom. We use another program, so you can follow us on Facebook and on YouTube. And we talk about all of the news in technology, all the tech news on Thursdays with our Tech for Senior Live. And then the Windows SIG will be the Sunday, October 12th. And by the way, Sora 2 is out, and I need an invite in order to use it. If you can help me at all, please send me a link via email. Don't post it somewhere, or somebody will grab it before I see it. But in order to use it, you have to get an invite. Once I get an invite, I'll get so many more invites to share with some of you. So please, if you get an invite or can find one on Sora 2, please let me know. Be sure to subscribe to our newsletters, the Tech for Senior newsletter, the WinSig newsletter, and I also do one for Let's Talk AI. Our twice a week newsletter is sponsored by the Glendora Senior Computer Club, Geeks on Tour, and APCUG. The premiere video for today, which will be on the second half hour, will be apps for traveling, free spoke, unbiased, and RCS explained. Let's see. I think I'm ready to get going here, so let me move this out of the way and share my screen, and we'll start out with Chris. And away we go.
Google Photos has a new editor. Now, I wrote about this on our website, 𝕊𝕐𝕗. Let me just show you how you would find that. 𝕊𝕐𝕗, and under blogs and all articles, and you will see 2025 new editor for Google Photos. And in this, I lay out where everything was on the old menu, where everything is on the new menu. And if you are a subscriber to our newsletter, you will be getting this in your inbox for our next newsletter. But for now, I want to do some demonstrations. Right now, it's only rolling out to Android phones. I expect it will be coming to iPhones, but right now it's only Android, and it's not everybody, so it's rolling out. But once you get it, you've got, there's nothing you can do to either stop getting it or to get it faster. So it is what it is. So this one looks really dark, doesn't it? There's actually a deer in there. The edit button is still the same, but as soon as you tap on it, everything else looks very, very different. It still has a horizontal menu. It starts with this auto, then there's actions and markup and filters and lighting and color. And each one that you choose from this main menu shows different options on the second line up. You scroll over to find all your options. So this deer, all I have to do is tap dynamic. Boom. It has done several different editing features all in one AI-powered button. And I could now save as copy, which I wish it would save over the original, but on the Android anyway, it just doesn't. The copy will be the same date as the original, so you will find it right next to the original. All right, so here's one that we took in Taiwan, and I love that image, but I certainly don't like all the other stuff. So I want to edit, and I want to crop it. Now, where is crop? It used to be a separate menu item, right? Well, they've moved it under actions. Actions and crop. And I can drag the corners up and in a little bit. I want to crop out all of that. All right, that's not bad. They have added a new feature though. Let's see what it does. I don't know. Auto frame. So this is like a really fancy AI cropping, but it's more than cropping. Let's just tap on it and see what happens. It's working magic on the photo and deciding what's the best framing for this picture. So it decided that zooming out a little bit was better, and it kind of hid that big ugly orange sidewalk. I kind of like it. But look at this, it's given other choices. A lot of these AI things give you several choices, so I can tap on that, or that, or that, and I can choose the one I like the best. I do think I like the one that's closest up, and tap the check mark. And then I would have to save as copy. Okay. So now out in my photos, I have both the original and the copy. How about this one? This was back when we lived in an RV and we were on the road and somebody took that picture of us. I liked it, but it needs to be cropped. Edit. And let's say you don't remember where crop was in this new menu. A cool new feature is search. So I can tap search and I get a listing of all of the features in this editor, or I can search for crop. There we go, and choose crop from here. And now I can do whatever I want. Or I could try that auto frame, but I'm not going to bother. This is good. I check mark and I'm done. And if all you do is crop, it does let you save over the original. I'm still not going to. Is there anything wrong with this picture? Well, not really, except it's all so dark in here. Edit and dynamic. And it does some HDR, high dynamic range, which gives you detail in the shadow. Is that a prettier picture or what? One tap And if you touch and hold, you will see what the original looked like. Let go, you see what the edited copy looks like. This picture is an old, faded, one of these is Jim here, so as a little kid. How do you get rid of that red? Well, you really can't in keeping it color. The best thing to do with a photo that's gotten this bad is to change it to black and white. Now you can do that either by going to color and saturation and taking away all the color, but I think a better way is to use the filters. So there's filters. You can filters or sky. I want filters. And there's a whole bunch of them. All the way at the end are black and white filters. And I think that picture looks much better in black and white than trying to fix the colors. And this one is blurry. I think there's an unblur, but where is it? What are you gonna do?
Search.
Yeah, just tap the search, type unblur, and if it's there, it will show up. You unblur. Wow, that's pretty cool. And we still have Magic Eraser. If you tap edit, you should be able to select this flag coming out of Jim's shoulder right here. But if it doesn't, you can go to Actions, Magic Eraser. Now I can select that, tell it to erase. It's working its magic. And it didn't get it all, so I select again and erase. That's nice and clean. Check mark. It probably needs a dynamic. There. Now that's a good picture. What did it look like originally? Let go. There's the edited copy. So if and when you get this new editor in Google Photos, now you know how to use it.
I'm going to have to try that on my camera and on my phone. It's a new phone. It probably has it. So I'm looking forward to that. All right. Let's go to the next.
Okay, let's talk about our screens. You know, we spend a ton of money on all this beautiful tech with these gorgeous high-res displays. But if we're being honest, most of the time, they're just covered in fingerprints and smudges, right? Well, today, that ends. I'm going to show you the definitive pro-level guide to getting every single screen you own looking absolutely perfect.
So let me ask you a question. When you see a smudge on your phone, what's your first instinct? If you're like pretty much everyone, you grab the corner of your t-shirt and give it a quick wipe. It seems harmless, doesn't it? But what if I told you that you might actually be damaging your screen every time you do that?
The good news is there is a much better way. It's safe, it's super simple, and it will give your devices that incredible, fresh out-of-the-box shine. So let's break down the exact method the pros rely on.
So let's just dive right in. This is it, the pro-level method for a flawless, streak-free screen. It's just a simple 4-step process, and it works on your phone, your laptop, your TV, you name it. Any modern screen you own, this is the way to do it.
First things first, power down your device. This is so important. Not only does it get rid of any static, but it makes it way easier to actually see all the smudges and grime. Step 2, and you gotta remember this one. Never, and I mean ever, spray cleaner directly onto the screen. Always put a couple of light sprays on your microfiber cloth. For step 3, you're going to use the textured side of the cloth and wipe in gentle circular motions. That's what lifts all the gunk off. And finally, step 4, just flip the cloth over to the smooth polishing side and use long, sweeping strokes. Bam! A perfect streak-free finish.
Okay, so we know how to do it now, but why is this specific method so much better than just grabbing, say, some Windex and a paper towel? Well, it all comes down to protecting the really delicate and expensive technology that makes your screen look so amazing in the first place.
And hey, you don't just have to take my word for it. This is the same basic approach used in Apple stores. Think about it. When the people in charge of keeping literally thousands of the most iconic displays in the world looking perfect trust a method, you know it's got to be both incredibly safe and super effective. You see, the secret is all about what's not in the cleaning formula. Most regular household cleaners have alcohol or ammonia, and that stuff can actually strip away the special coatings on your screen. You know that ℙ𝕝𝕉𝕗 coating? That's what makes your screen feel so smooth and helps it resist fingerprints. And that anti-glare layer? Crucial for seeing what you're doing. A proper cleaner protects those layers, which keeps your device looking and feeling brand new. And just to put that into a bit of perspective, when you look at some of the popular cleaners out there, you start to see the key differences. Sure, most of them are safe for all screens, but the real game changers are being alcohol-free and being trusted by the pros at places like Apple. It's that combo, plus a really reliable streak-free finish, that sets the best ones apart. Now listen, the cleaning solution is really only half the battle. The tool you use is every bit as important. We have to talk about the microfiber cloth. It is the true unsung hero of a perfect clean. And learning how to take care of it is the secret to getting amazing results every single time. And get this, a really good microfiber cloth isn't some disposable thing you use once and toss. If you take care of it properly, it can be washed up to 500 times. Seriously, that's potentially years of use from just one cloth, which makes it an awesome, eco-friendly, and super cost-effective choice. And taking care of it couldn't be easier. Just toss it in the wash with a gentle detergent that doesn't have any fragrances. The big, non-negotiable rule to remember is absolutely no fabric softener and no dryer sheets. Ever. That stuff leaves a residue that just clogs up all the tiny fibers in the cloth, which basically makes it useless for trapping dust and oil. Just let it air dry or tumble dry on low heat and it's good as new. You know what's really cool though? Once you have the right cleaner and cloth, you can use it for way more than just your phone or laptop. This one little kit can safely clean a whole bunch of other things you probably use every day. So, a question I get all the time is, hey, can I use this stuff on my expensive prescription glasses? You know, with all those special coatings? And the answer is a huge yes. Because it's free of alcohol and ammonia, it's perfectly safe for all those delicate anti-reflective and scratch-resistant coatings that are on modern lenses. It gets them sparkling clean without doing any damage at all. All right, but what about the other half of your laptop? I'm talking about that grimy keyboard that seems to be a magnet for dust, crumbs, and all the oils from your fingers. Oh, absolutely. You can use the exact same method. And the golden rule applies here too. I'll say it again. Spray the cleaner onto the cloth to get it just a little damp and then wipe down the keys. This is key to preventing any liquid from getting down into the electronics underneath. All right, time to level up. We've totally mastered screens and surfaces, but what about the enemy that gets inside our devices? Yeah, I'm talking about dust. From just a quick blast with canned air to a deep clean of your internal components, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. So here's a little fun science fact for you. If you've ever used a can of compressed air, you know that the can gets incredibly cold, right? Sometimes it even gets frost on it. Did you ever stop and wonder why that happens? Well, it's because of something called the Joule-Thomson effect. Inside that can, the gas is under super high pressure. When you spray it, it expands like crazy, super fast, and that rapid expansion makes its temperature totally plummet. It's actually the same basic principle that makes your refrigerator and your air conditioner work. It's also why you can accidentally spray condensation all over your electronics if you're not careful. So, to use it safely, just remember these 3 rules. 1. Always try to keep the can upright so you don't spray out the liquid propellant. 2. Use short, controlled bursts of air, not one long continuous spray. And 3. If you do happen to see any moisture, just give it a minute to completely evaporate before you power your device back on. Simple as that. But what about the really nasty stuff? You know, that sticky layer of dust that seems to get baked onto the fans and heat sinks inside a gaming PC or a console? Yeah, for that, canned air just isn't going to cut it. You need a deeper strategy. Okay, this is definitely for the more advanced crowd, but the process is pretty straightforward. First, power everything down and unplug it, obviously. Then use a soft brush to gently loosen up all that caked-on dust. For really stubborn spots, a little bit of high-concentration isopropyl alcohol on a swab works like magic. And here's a pro tip. Use a vacuum cleaner nozzle nearby to suck up the dust as you brush it loose. But, and this is crucial, never touch the components with the vacuum itself. When you're done, just let everything air dry completely before you put it all back together. You know, at the end of the day, keeping your tech clean really isn't just about making it look nice. A clean screen is just way more enjoyable to use, sure, but a dust-free computer also runs cooler and it will last longer. This whole thing is really about protecting your investment and getting the best possible performance out of the devices you rely on every day. So, I'll just leave you with this one question. What's that one piece of tech you own, that tablet, that monitor, that keyboard, that you've been meaning to clean for ages? Well, now you've got the tools and you know the right technique. Go on, give it that super satisfying streak-free shine it deserves. Thanks for watching.
Well, Murray, that is a great advice and information. And they say don't use your t-shirts and don't use Kleenex or paper towels because they'll scratch your screens. So good advice. Thank you, Murray, for putting that together. Welcome, everyone, to Galaxy AI, your universe of AI tools in one platform. I'm Hewie Poplock, and today we'll discover how over 3,000 AI tools can transform your digital workflow. Galaxy.ai represents a revolutionary approach to artificial intelligence. Instead of juggling multiple subscriptions and platforms, you get everything you need in one comprehensive universe of AI capabilities. Our presentation today is structured into 5 key sections. First, we'll examine the most popular apps that users love on Galaxy AI. Then we'll dive into the most useful tools for productivity. Next, we'll explore the unique features that set Galaxy AI apart from competitors. Next, we'll understand how Galaxy AI works and its pricing structure. Finally, I'll do a demo of some of the 3,200 plus apps in Galaxy AI. Galaxy AI is an all-in-one AI platform that eliminates the need for multiple separate AI. Instead of paying for ChatGPT, Midjourney, and various other AI tools separately, Galaxy AI is an all-in-one platform that eliminates the need for multiple separate AI subscriptions. Instead of paying for ChatGPT, Midjourney, and various other AI tools separately, Galaxy AI provides text generation, image creation, video editing, and audio processing tools all in one unified platform. This consolidation saves both money and the hassle of managing multiple accounts and interfaces. Let's begin by exploring the most popular applications within Galaxy AI. These are the tools that users engage with the most frequently due to their versatility, ease of use, and practical applications in daily tasks. The Chat Assist is Galaxy AI's flagship conversational AI tool. It provides instant answers to questions, assists with brainstorming sessions, and helps solve complex problems across various domains. Whether you need customer support responses, creative writing assistance, or technical problem solving, the Chat Assistant adapts to your communication style and provides contextually relevant responses. Here we see the Chat Assistant in action across 3 scenarios. For customer service, it provides empathetic and solution-focused responses. In creative brainstorming, it generates innovative ideas and builds upon your concepts. For technical problem solving, it breaks down complex issues into manageable steps and provides detailed explanations. Photo Assist represents Galaxy AI's advanced image editing capabilities. This AI-powered tool can intelligently remove unwanted objects from photos, replace backgrounds seamlessly, and enhance image quality automatically. It's particularly valuable for social media content, professional photography, and personal photo management. These examples demonstrate Photo Assist capabilities. Object removal clearly eliminates unwanted elements while maintaining natural-looking backgrounds. Background replacement creates professional quality composite images. Low light enhanced brings out details and improves clarity in challenging lighting conditions, all with a simple, intuitive control. Circle to Search revolutionizes how we interact with visual information. By simply drawing a circle around any object, text, or element on your screen, you can instantly search for related information. This gesture-based approach makes searching more intuitive and contextual than traditional text-based query. Here we see circle to search's versatility. For shopping, circling a product instantly provides purchase options and price comparisons. Text translation happens in real time by circling foreign text. Landmark identification provides historical information and travel details when you circle buildings or monuments in photos. Now let's examine Galaxy AI's most useful productivity tools. These applications are designed to enhance your daily workflows, improve efficiency, and streamline common tasks that professionals and students encounter regularly. The Writing Assistant goes beyond basic grammar checking to provide comprehensive writing enhancement. It adjusts tone for different audiences, corrects grammatical errors contextually, and improves overall writing style. Whether you're crafting professional emails, academic papers, or creative content, it adapts to your specific needs and maintains your unique voice. These examples show the Writing Assistant's transformative power. Email tone adjustment changes casual language to professional communication while preserving the core message. Grammar correction fixes errors while maintaining natural flow. Creative writing improvement enhances narrative structure, character development, and descriptive language. Live Translator provides real-time translation capabilities that work both online and offline. It supports multiple languages and can translate conversations, documents, and messages instantly. The offline functionality ensures that you can communicate effectively even without internet connectivity, making it invaluable for international travel and business. The voice recorder with AI transforms audio content into actionable information. It provides accurate transcription, automatic summarization, speaker identification in multiple person conversations, extraction of action items and key points. This tool is essential for meetings, interviews, lectures, and any situation where you need to capture and organize spoken information. Let's explore what truly sets Galaxy AI apart from other AI platforms. These unique features represent innovative approaches to AI implementation that prioritize user privacy, seamless integration, and enhanced functionality. Galaxy AI's on-device AI processing ensures your sensitive data never leaves your device. Unlike cloud-based AI services, this feature processes documents, images, and personal information locally, maintaining complete privacy and security. You can edit confidential documents and seamless AI functionality across your devices. Start a project on your phone during your commute, continue on your tablet during lunch, and finish on your desktop at home. Your preferences, AI models, and work progress synchronize automatically, creating a truly unified experience across mobile, tablet, and desktop platform. This is Galaxy AI's main dashboard, showcasing over 3,000 AI tools organized by category. The interface provides easy navigation through AI tools, new releases, and specific categories like text, image, video, document, audio, and your favorite. Popular tools like Chat with AI, Chat Arena, and AI Prompt Library are prominently featured with a powerful search function to quickly find the right tool for your needs. Galaxy AI's technical architecture combines a unified AI engine with cloud edge hybrid processing. This integrated model ecosystem allows seamless API integration across all tools while maintaining performance and reliability. The architecture enables the platform to offer diverse AI capabilities through a single, cohesive interface while optimizing processing based on task requirements and privacy needs. Galaxy AI offers flexible pricing options, including subscription plans and lifetime access memberships. The credit-based system provides transparency in usage costs. while different tiers accommodate various user needs from casual users to power users. The lifetime membership option provides long-term value for committed users who want to avoid recurring subscription fees. Galaxy AI offers flexible pricing options, including subscription plans and lifetime access memberships. Paying for the yearly options gets monthly costs to $8.25. You can add to the monthly credits by just visiting the website daily and clicking on the free daily credit rewards. Here we see my account. In addition to my monthly 15 million credits, I have added many more to have available over 142 million credits. Galaxy AI operates on a credit system measured in millions of points. For $15 a month, users receive 15 million credits. High resource tasks consume significant credits. AI headshot generation uses 3 million credits, while image renders cost approximately 1 million credits each. This translates to roughly $1 per render, making it highly cost-effective compared to purchasing individual AI tools, subscriptions that could cost $180 or more monthly when combined. Let's look at some of the 3,200 plus apps available. We're not going to cover all 3,200. I want to take a screen capture and make it show me the text from an image to text. And we're going to use the image to text, or OCR, optical character recognition. Image to text. Now it's saying to grab an image, and I'm going to take one that I have done a screen capture, so it's an image. We'll drop it in here. It's uploaded it. We're going to say done. This is the image. We're going to tell it, give us the text, and tell it to extract. And there's all of the information in text form. I can copy that into a notepad or into anything that I want to then edit, do something with that text. I just had ChatGPT 5 write a 200-word article about adults using TikTok. I copied all that information, and what I wanted to do was to go to Galaxy AI, and I chose the AI Content Humanizer. So I pasted that article into the line here. It uses up to 500 characters, so if it didn't use all of it, I think we're in pretty good shape. And then you could set the writing style, and I happen to use casual, and the target audience is seniors, and I said, okay, generate. And I'm telling it to generate 2 versions of it, and it did. So here's the top. Was different in each one. You could choose which one you want, use for your article. Much more humanized, much more sounding like it's coming from you. I want to use Galaxy AI to create a PowerPoint. It gives me one choice, AI PowerPoint generator, but I can use text to PowerPoint, video to PPT or PowerPoint, or a PDF to PowerPoint. Let's take a video to PowerPoint. And I'm going to take one of my videos, and let's put it in here, copy and paste it, and it's called Find Me. And I just tell it to create a presentation, and it gives me a 12-slide PowerPoint. In all the examples I've tried with this, the 12th slide is a thank you, so it's really only giving you 11 slides, but let's take a look at what they are. So I can go in and edit it. If I download it, meet Hewie Poplock, your guide, and it just goes through. I then put in some kind of a screen capture or something else, and I've got a slideshow of a video. So if you see somebody else's video that you would like to use, you can't do it because of copyright reasons, well, why not make a PowerPoint from the points of that video and create your own to do the presentation? AI PowerPoint generator for Galaxy AI. For this example, we're going to use 2 tools. First, we'll take an image and get a prompt for it using image to prompt generator. Then we'll take the result and go back to Galaxy AI and use the AI image generator. Ron Brown from Tech for Senior does some great videos, but he also does some great thumbnails for those videos. Let's take a look at one. Here's one I like. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to save that image as a JPEG. And we're just going to call it Ron's. And we're going to have it in downloads, and we'll go ahead and save it so we know where it is. Okay, so we're going to come back to here. We're going to say we want an image to prompt. And so we got AI image to prompt generator. That's the one we want, which is image to text. We can do one text to text, and we do another one from text to text. And these are some prompt generators. But what we want is image to text. So we're going to go ahead and do this. And then it's going to say where we're going to get these. So we're going to go ahead and browse the files. We know it's from this device. We know it's Ron's JPEG, and we'll say open and say done. And there it is. Now what it says, select style. We'll call it Flux. And we'll say go ahead and generate a prompt. And here's a breakdown of the image. And here is the prompt. So we'll come back to Galaxy. Text to image. Let's use the Google's Imagen 4. So we're just going to paste that now in here. And we'll see what it does. And tell it to generate. Not quite the same, but it gives you the same kind of idea. So that's taking an image and getting a description of it, and then using that description to create another image. You can then edit your description to make it change to something that would be more to your liking. In conclusion, Galaxy AI represents a paradigm shift in AI accessibility and integration. With over 3,000 tools in one platform, popular applications like Chat Assistant and Photo Assist, unique features including on-device processing and cross-platform integration, all for $15 a month with 15 million credits. Galaxy AI transforms how we interact with artificial intelligence. It's not just a collection of tools, it's your complete universe of AI capabilities designed to enhance every aspect of your digital workflow. Thank you for your attention, and I encourage you to explore how Galaxy AI can revolutionize your productivity and creativity. I'm Hewie Poplock. And that's Galaxy AI. Ron, your turn.
Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about a topic that has caused a lot of people grief, and I want to make a video about it so I don't have to keep explaining this whole issue of texting and what RCS is. So we're going to go through that today. There are some very key points that I think will really help you. There's a couple of stumbling blocks that everybody makes, so I want to clarify that. I want to discuss what RCS, or Rich Communication Services, is, how you get it, how you set it up, and why that is so important for texting. And we're going to talk about that today. So thanks so much for coming, and hopefully this will be helpful. I'm Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, where we help seniors understand technology and help them with communication. I want to thank everyone for coming, and we sure appreciate that like and subscribe. I want to thank all those people that have donated over the last year to our coffee fund. It certainly helps our nonprofit group keep going. All right, when discussing texting, I always find it easier to go back to the very beginning, when cell phones first were released to the public in 1983. Let's go way back. Now, if you're a senior, you'll remember this. If you aren't a senior, well, you'll learn something. So if you go back to 1983, when cell phones were first released, as in this diagram you're seeing here, I put an old Nokia phone there, and you'll see that we have, of course, voice communication now, and we talk to a cell tower. This, of course, is done through a phone number. So yes, we did have cell phones, But this is 10 years before the internet. We didn't have email. We didn't have websites. There was no internet or anything like that when cell phones first came out. It was simply you picked the phone up and you didn't have it plugged into a landline and you were able to make a phone call. This was wireless technology and quite different than it is today. Now, the other thing that was very different about this was phone calls were expensive. In other words, you got paid, you got charged per phone call. No plans. We didn't have cell phone plans then. They just charge you the number of phone calls you made, multiplied it by how many you did in a month, and sent you a bill. So it was expensive. Now, over time, cell phone plans did exist, but that's later on. So in the early days, cell phones weren't as popular as the companies wanted them to be because of cost. So they came up with a unique idea that they would bring in a thing called texting. And of course was developed by the phone companies. Yes, the phone companies, the wireless company developed this concept called texting, where you could actually text somebody a message, an SMS text that you could text through the telephone line, through your communication line, your phone number, and text someone a short message. And that's why they came up with SMS. Now, this was a great deal for the phone companies because, well, it was much cheaper than making a voice call. Well, it was much cheaper to the customers than making a voice call. They still charged for it. And the amount of bandwidth used up in the texting was so small, it was a good deal for the phone company. So they came up with the idea of texting, which really increased the number of people using this new communication type of machine, the cell phone. All right, so the key takeaway point I want you to remember is the fact that there was no internet. We had no WhatsApp or any text messaging. There was no email, no nothing. But the texting was done over your existing voice line. So you remember that. This is an important point. So now we move on, and of course, 10 years later, in 1993, the internet was created, released to the public, and of course, the rest is history. And then, of course, we developed social media, email, websites, and things all changed, which of course we have now. But it wasn't until 2007 when a big event occurred that would change the way the world was today. And the announcement, of course, was in 2007 when Steve Jobs introduced the iPhone. The iPhone was a new concept, crazy concept. Steve Jobs said, we're going to make this a smartphone and we're going to connect it to the internet. And we're going to charge you, this is going to be an expensive phone, and we're going to charge you $1,000 for this. I thought the man was crazy. Who would spend $1,000 on a phone just to connect it to the internet? Well, boy, was I wrong, eh? So for sure. So the iPhone was quite a bit different type of cell phone. And it changed how cell phones were made and how they were used. So what were the differences in the iPhone? Well, the first thing Steve Jobs said is this phone is going to be able to be connected to Wi-Fi. Now, by this time, we had routers and Wi-Fi and all sorts of stuff like that. So he had a radio receiver and transmitter in there that would connect to Wi-Fi, as you'll see in the diagram here, connect to Wi-Fi either as a public or private Wi-Fi connection. So this was great. That, of course, if you're not connected to Wi-Fi and you're out driving around and you don't have Wi-Fi, he wanted this also to be connected through something new, something the phone cell companies had to create, and this was a data stream. And this was a data stream that was unlike your voice communication. This was a digital data stream that would send data to and from the internet. So this, as you'll see on the diagram here, this is a different stream from voice communication, and this is what we now know as our data plan. And it had never been done before, and this was, of course, created, and this is a separate separate link to your cell phone. And the third thing he said is we're going to have our own messaging service, iMessages. But of course, that wasn't SMS. This is a different link that the cell phone companies had to create. And this was a link for iMessages. So the iPhone could communicate with other iPhones through iMessages. So we now had a new smartphone being developed. We were going to be able to connect through Wi-Fi. We're going to be connect through a data plan. And we're going to be able to send text messages through iMessage to other Apple devices. And that was what really changed the world and started the smartphone revolution that we have. So this is a key takeaway point that you need to understand. So after this technology was developed, and of course many other companies started making smartphones, we developed another product in the cloud called text messaging. And this is in the cloud. This is the ability to send messages within an app. And this is WhatsApp is an example of this. Facebook Messenger is an example. Google Messages. There's over 200 different messaging apps that are available in the world today. And it depends what part of the world and what country you're in of which one is going to work. But the concept here, let's take WhatsApp, is that my friend I want to send a message to WhatsApp would have the WhatsApp app installed. I would have the WhatsApp, and then we can send messages back and forth. Just like a text message back, the old SMS text messaging. Remember way back what I discussed? This is all done now between these apps in the cloud. It has nothing to do with your cell phone provider or the old SMS texting or iMessages service that your cell phone companies run. This occurs in the cloud within these apps, and this is called text messaging. Now, why is this important? Why am I making a big deal about this? Well, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that, of course, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. It doesn't matter what phone you're using. These messaging services all work. Doesn't matter whether you're using an Apple device or an Android device. But it did back, remember, let's go back and look at this diagram. We have, of course, SMS text messaging, remember? And we have a separate service for iMessages. Two don't talk to each other. Rats! So that is a big problem. But within the messaging service, within the text messaging that is in this cloud, it doesn't matter. You can talk back and forth and go on and on about that. So why does that make a big difference? Well, this is the big factor here, and it has to do with two-factor authentication. In the process of getting that second factor sent to you, it's always sent through your cell phone line, the SMS or iMessages. You're going to be getting it through it back to your phone because your phone is actually the second factor. In other words, it is your second factor because you're logged in either through a password or your facial ID or thumbprint, whatever it is your second factor. So it's not going to be sent over text messaging. So all that stuff you're doing with text messaging has nothing to do with two-factor authentication. So in our current new security standards, which we're encouraging everybody to use, two-factor authentication will not work with text messaging. All right, that's now the second takeaway, which is very interesting, is your phone number. This is exactly why when you travel, and this when you're traveling to different parts of the world in different countries, we used to always teach just buy a local SIM card, pop a local SIM card in, and you'll be good to go, and you can use one of the local plans of the country. But of course, now remember this, with your text messaging, it's no problem because you're going to be able to text message back and forth because it's not related to a phone number. But your two-factor authentication is. So if you go and you switch out that SIM card and you put a different SIM card in there with a different phone number, you will not be able to get your text messaging coming back to your phone to give you that second factor to get into your bank account or whatever when you're traveling. So you need to know that and be very careful with that, because it's a, you don't want to be heading off to Australia. You go to the bank in Australia and you can't get your second factor and you can't get your money. So be careful with that. That's a really big issue. You must know the difference between SMS texting messaging and what text messaging is in the cloud. So those are two different things based on two different technologies, okay? And finally, they got their act together over the last 2 or 3 years. And last year in 2003, Apple announced that they would participate in RCS services, and that should be implemented by most carriers. Now, I want to talk a little bit about what RCS is. Now, if you look at this diagram, we're going to go over specifically the different technologies RCS uses. RCS uses a combination of your data plan and Wi-Fi. It's not going back over the old SMS system. It's a much bigger, it's more secure, and there's a number of new features with RCS that works. First of all, you can see typing indicators when someone's typing, and you know that they're actually sending you a message. You can read receipts, you can do file sharing, and you can even have group chats, all on RCS messaging. So what I wanted to talk to you about, remember my original question was, how do you get this? How do you install it? How does it work? And I'm going to show you that now. And I think the best way to go about that is I'm going to take my phone now and I'm going to do a little video about how you get it and what it is. So let me show you this now. All right, this is my Pixel 8 Pro. Let's come down to the messaging app. We'll come down here and click the messaging app. And now from the messaging app, we're going to go up to the top and click the icon with your picture on it. And we're going to come down to the messages settings. From there, you're going to see at the top, it says RCS chats, and that means it's installed on your phone. Let's click this and see where we go. And here you'll see my network is Rogers network. It says I'm connected and I have RCS chats turned on. At the bottom, I have also turned on that if RCS is not available as a service, I can then switch it to, it will be sent as an SMS or MMS text. This is on the Android version. Now, I want you to remember that RCS is a carrier-based service, and you do not need to do anything to enable the service. This is, you don't put any software or anything like that on your phone. This is carrier-based and will be initiated. So if you have an Android or an iPhone, you need to make sure that the carrier service you're using does have RCS as a service. Now, on your iPhone, you must have iOS 18 or over, and you also have to make sure that your carrier has enabled RCS. So on your iPhone, you'll see this screen and you'll see turn on RCS messaging. And here you'll see the appropriate buttons to turn on to make sure this service is active on your phone. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. In summary, RCS is a carrier-based service, new coming out for iOS, and it will allow communication between Android and Apple devices. It's more secure, and you'll be seeing a lot more about this as we move forward. Hopefully this video has been helpful for you. We'd sure appreciate that like and subscribe.
Thanks, Ron. Excellent description, and kind of clears up some of the issues I've discovered and had and wondered about. So very good. And with that, Ron, I think we probably should turn off our connection to YouTube, and we'll get ready for our music session.
We're good to go. Today, my featured artist is Nat King Cole. And this is sort of a follow-up to last week's perform segment where I featured the Ed Sullivan and Ed Sullivan Show. Nat King Cole was one of the featured performers quite often on the Ed Sullivan Show because at that time, being a black artist, he was probably shunned by a lot of network TV shows, as we'll mention here in a few minutes. His full name was Nathaniel Adams Cole. He was born on March 17th, 1919 in Montgomery, Alabama, and died February 15th in 65 in Santa Monica, California. He was a singer, pianist, band leader, and actor. The genres he performed in: jazz, swing, pop, and traditional pop. And the years he was active: from the 1930s right up till his death in 1965. He was one of the most influential vocalists and pianists of the 20th century. He began his career as a jazz pianist, performing with the King Cole Trio in 1937 with guitarist Oscar Moore and bassist Wesley Prince. The trio gained national fame for their smooth blend of jazz and pop stylings. His warm, velvety baritone voice soon became his trademark. He transitioned into solo singing career in the late 40s. His impeccable phrasing, relaxed delivery, and emotional depth helped him to cross over mainstream pop, appealing to audiences of all backgrounds, a major accomplishment during this era of racial segregation. He was also a television pioneer. In 1956, he became the first African American to host a national network TV variety show, The Nat King Cole Show, on ABC. Unfortunately, it only lasted a little over a year. It started out as a 15-minute show and expanded to a 30-minute show. However, national advertisers did not buy in, so the network, NBC, had to give it up after a year because they just couldn't continue to support it. He died of lung cancer at age 45, leaving behind a remarkable legacy. His daughter, Natalie, born in 1950 and died in 2015, also became a celebrated singer, famously reviving his voice in the posthumous duet Unforgettable in 1991. A little bit more about that later. Now, I've got a list of his notable hits, and I'm not going to mention them all, but as you can see, there are quite a few of them. Straighten Up and Fly Right was his first one, with the King Cole Trio, inspired by a folk tale from his father, a preacher. Get Your Kicks on Route 66. I'm sure everyone remembers that. The Christmas Song, or Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire, co-written by Mel Torme, became a timeless holiday favorite and still received lots of airplay. Mona Lisa, from an Academy Award-winning song from Captain Carey. Unforgettable, and again, we'll talk more about it. And a few others down here. Smile, based on Charlie Chaplin's Modern Times theme, one of Cole's most moving performances. When I Fall in Love, a romantic standard. Ramblin' Rose was a country pop crossover. Those Lazy, Hazy, Crazy Days of Summer, one of his final hits. So he certainly was a well-known performer. The legacy he left behind: he sold over 50 million records worldwide. And considering his career ended in 65, that's quite an accomplishment. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2000 for his early influences, and his music continues to appear in countless films, TV shows, and commercials. The Christmas Song remains one of the most played holiday recordings every year. Now, I've chosen two selections today. The first one, Straighten Up and Fly Right, was one of his earliest ones, and this is kind of a neat rendition of it. And the second is Unforgettable with his daughter, Natalie Cole. And it's significant in the fact that it was released in 1991, but it used technology that we had never seen before. They actually used holographic images of Nat to perform with his daughter live on stage. So they're kind of interesting to see the technology that's used. So Ron, if you want to take it away, and let's Straighten Up and Fly Right. Pretty remarkable when you consider that was 26 years after his death, and that she was only 15 when he died. So quite a unique thing. And that performance, technically, to do that in 1991, I mean, I'm an old audio guy, and I mean, just the mixing and putting that together, pretty amazing for its time frame. Anyways, Nat King Cole.
That is fantastic. Great choice this time, as always. With that, we're going to turn to our Q&A.